photograph hidden inside the wall. Behind the cedar boards, I was 66 years old that fall, a furniture maker, nearing retirement, working alone in a workshop at the edge of a fading river town. Most days were simple, wood shavings on the floor, coffee growing cold on a wooden table, the smell of cedar and walnut living permanently in my clothes. One October afternoon, a widow hired me to restore her grandfather's farmhouse. The place sat beyond the river, surrounded by fields that had long ago surrendered to weeds. The house creaked with every gust of wind, its porch leaned toward the earth. Its windows reflected nothing but gray clouds and distance. I spent 3 days repairing walls. On the fourth, I discovered something strange, a photograph hidden behind the cedar boards. The picture showed a young woman standing beside a riverbank, dark coat, gentle smile, autumn leaves drifting behind her. There was no name written anywhere, no date, no explanation, just a face tucked away inside a wall for reasons nobody could explain. That evening, rain began tapping against the roof. I sat beside the old stone fireplace, studying the photograph. Something about her expression felt unfinished, like she had intended to say something before the shutter clicked. The widow didn't recognize her, neither did the neighbors, yet everyone agreed on one thing: the photograph had been hidden deliberately. Someone wanted it found, or someone wanted it forgotten. Behind the cedar boards, beneath the years and dust, some stories keep breathing long after silence covers us. Time can hide a memory, but it cannot erase its call. And sometimes the smallest picture holds the biggest truth of all. The next morning, I searched the attic, boxes, ledgers, broken lamps, stacks of old newspapers. Near sunset, I uncovered a journal. The handwriting belonged to the farmhouse owner from nearly 70 years earlier. Page after page described ordinary life, harvests, floods, family dinners. Then one entry stopped me cold. The river took Clara today. Nothing more, no details, no explanation, only those 5 words. Days later, I found another entry. Her photograph remains hidden. Some grief is too heavy for display. Suddenly everything made sense. Clara had been his sister. She disappeared during the flood when both were young. Her body was never recovered. The river kept it secret. The family spoke of her less each year, until eventually they stopped speaking of her entirely. But the brother never forgot. He hid her photograph inside the wall he built himself, close enough to remember, hidden enough to survive. The realization sat quietly inside me. I thought about everyone who slowly vanishes from conversation, not because they mattered less, because life keeps moving. Children grow older, homes change hands, memories fade around the edges. Behind the cedar boards, beneath the years and dust, some stories keep breathing long after silence covers us. Time can hide a memory, but it cannot erase its call. And sometimes the smallest picture holds the biggest truth of all. That night, fog rolled across the river. I stood on the porch holding Clara's photograph. The water moved slowly beneath moonlight, endless, patient, unchanged by decades. For the first time, I understood why her brother had hidden the picture. He wasn't trying to forget, he was protecting a memory from the wear and tear of time, giving it a place to wait. Behind the cedar boards, where old sorrows gently sleep, love leaves quiet footprints that the years can never sweep. The river keeps its secrets, the seasons rise and fall, but every life leaves traces inside the hearts it touches at all. The house creaked with every gust of wind, its porch leaned toward the earth. Its windows reflected nothing but gray clouds and distance. I spent 3 days repairing walls. On the 4th I discovered something strange, a photograph hidden behind the cedar boards. The picture showed a young woman standing beside a riverbank, dark coat, gentle smile, autumn leaves drifting behind her. There was no name written anywhere, no date, no explanation. I was 70 years old that winter. Living 2 blocks from the county line. A former boxer with crooked fingers, and a face weathered hard by time. Most mornings started before daylight, at a diner near the Greyhound stop. The kind of place with cracked red boots, where conversations never really stop. The waitress knew me by first name, poured coffee before I'd sit down. Outside the neon sign kept flickering, casting red reflections on the ground. I spend my days mostly remembering the rounds I lost, the ones I won, watching buses come and leave beneath a sky untouched by sun. One freezing morning before sunrise, a coach rolled in through drifting fog. Passengers stepped into the station, wrapped in coats against the cold. Then I saw a man near the entrance, standing still beneath the light, wearing an old army jacket and gloves the color of midnight. For a second I thought I knew him, though 40 years had come and gone. The way he tilted back his shoulders, the way he paused before moving on. Then he smiled across the platform, and every year fell away. It was Danny Ross, my corner man, who vanished after our final day. Coffee at the Greyhound station, steam rising through the dawn. Some people leave without a warning, then somehow carry on. The roads divide like rivers through cities we outgrow, but friendship has a strange way of finding where to go. We sat together by the window, watching headlights fade from view. Neither one of us spoke quickly, like old men rarely do. He told me about Montana winters, driving freight through mountain snow, about a wife he loved completely, and the years that came and went below. I told him how the boxing ended, how my knees finally gave in, how life gets quieter with age, yet somehow deeper underneath the skin. The diner filled with morning workers, their laughter drifting through the room, while outside the fog kept rolling across the sleeping avenue. Danny reached into his duffel and placed something by my cup, a photograph from 1970, back when we were coming up. There we stood outside an arena, young enough to trust our plans, certain life would last forever, certain we would understand. We studied that old picture quietly, neither trying to explain how dreams become memories without ever asking permission. Then the loudspeaker called his departure, another route, another town. And just like that, the moment shifted as the morning gathered round. Coffee at the Greyhound station, steam rising through the dawn. Some people leave without a warning, then somehow carry on. The roads divide like rivers through we outgrow. But friendship has a strange way of finding where to go. The eastern sky turned pale and golden. Traffic slowly filled the street. The world resumed its daily motion beneath the rhythm of our feet. Danny shook my hand and smiled. No promises, no grand goodbye. Some bonds survive without speaking beneath the years. I was 58 that summer, driving county roads no map could name. A furniture maker with aching knuckles and more memories than I could explain. The sun was falling behind the pines when I saw a faded neon glow. An old motel leaning toward the highway, like it had nowhere else to go. Half the letters on the signs were missing. The office smelled of time and smoke. A tired woman handed me a key. Without a single word she spoke. Room 7 waited at the far end, paint peeling from the weathered walls. The kind of place where silence lingers long after darkness falls. The ceiling fan turned slow above me, pushing warm shadows through the room. Moonlight spilled across the carpet and settled in the dusty gloom. Near the bed stood an old suitcase, brown leather cracked by years alone. No tag, no name, no explanation. Like a ghost nobody claimed or owned. I should have left it where I found it, but curiosity has its ways. So I brushed away the dust and opened up forgotten days. Inside were black and white photographs, a train platform, a smiling bride, a man in a dark wool overcoat, standing proudly by her side. Dust on the motel register, dust on the years gone by. Some people leave without a goodbye. Some stories never die. The highway keeps on moving while old rooms hold the pain. And somewhere beneath the silence, love keeps whispering a name. Asked the woman in the office about the suitcase late that night. She lit a cigarette in silence while moths danced around the light. She said the man checked in one winter back in 1983. looking for a wife he'd lost to a train bound for Tennessee. Every evening he sat outside, watching headlights cut the dark, certain she would find a way back, following some forgotten mark. But seasons changed around the building, and one day he was simply gone, leaving all he couldn't carry, and all he carried on. Near dawn I studied every photograph at a wooden desk beneath the lamp. The faces felt strangely familiar, like footprints beside an old camp. One picture held a message written in handwriting faded and thin. If she ever comes looking for me, tell her I never stop believing. Outside the fog swallowed the highway, soft and silver in the morning light. And I wondered how many people spend forever waiting through the night. I closed the case and left it standing exactly where it used to be. Some things belong to unfinished stories, not to strangers like me. Dust on the motel register, dust on the years gone by. Some people leave without a goodbye, some stories never die. The highway keeps on moving, while old rooms hold the pain. And somewhere beneath the silence, love keeps whispering a name. The neon buzz like distant thunder, the fog rolled slow across the lane. And for a moment that forgotten motel felt alive again. I never learned what happened after, whether she returned or stayed away. But some questions earn their beauty by refusing to explain. Dust on the motel register, dust on the passing years, 1,000 roads and broken promises still echo in our ears. The world keeps turning forward like wheels upon a train. Yes. I was 62 that spring, a private detective with more memories than clans. The city had changed around me. New glass towers, new money, new faces. But some corners refused to move forward. St. Jude's Church stood among them, abandoned, boarded windows, cracked stone walls, a place forgotten by nearly everyone. One rainy evening, a woman walked into my office, elegant coat, leather gloves, silver hair pinned neatly beneath a dark hat. She placed an old photograph on my desk, wedding picture faded around the edges. Then she asked a strange question. Can you tell me why the bells never rang? At first I thought she meant symbolism, regret, heartbreak, something poetic, but she didn't. 43 years earlier, she was supposed to be married in St. Jude's. Guests arrived, flowers filled the church. The organist waited, the groom never appeared. No note, no explanation, nobody, no scandal, nothing. The wedding simply dissolved into silence. A week later, the church closed after a fire damaged part of the sanctuary. Years passed, lives moved on, yet one question remained: why didn't he come? The photograph sat between us, a frozen moment waiting for an answer. The bells never rang, the choir never sang, candles burned low while the shadows grew long. Some stories end loudly, some quietly fade. The bells never rang and the mystery stayed. The trail was old, cold enough to discourage most men. But I had spent my career listening to things that refused to disappear. City archives, newspaper clippings, court records, dusty boxes in forgotten basements. Eventually, I found a report, one that had never made the papers. The groom had been seen the morning of the wedding at the train station, carrying a small briefcase. Witnesses remembered him arguing with two men in expensive suits. After that, nothing, no departure record, no arrival record, no trace. The deeper I dug, the stranger it became. Every path led toward a real estate deal that collapsed the same year. Millions vanished, powerful people suddenly became nervous. The final piece came from an old bartender who remembered more than he should. The groom wasn't running away, he was preparing to testify. Expose fraud, expose names, expose everything. The briefcase held documents, evidence, truth. The bartender leaned closer, lowered his voice. He didn't disappear because of the wedding. Rain struck the windows outside, ice rattled in forgotten glasses. He disappeared because he was honest. The room went silent when I met the woman again. We sat inside the empty church itself. Moonlight slipped through broken stained glass. Dust drifted through silver beams. I told her everything. She listened quietly. No tears, no anger, just understanding. The kind earned over decades. The bells never rang, the choir never sang, the candles burned low while the shadows grew long. Some stories end loudly, some quietly fade. The bells never rang and the mystery stayed. Before leaving, she walked slowly toward the altar. The church smelled of old wood, rainwater, and time. She stood stood where she once waited as a bride. Then she smiled, a small smile, not for what happened, not for what was lost, for finally knowing the truth couldn't return. 40 years couldn't heal every wound, but uncertainty had weighed more than grief. Now that burden was gone. The bells never rang, yet the years carried on. The choir grew older, the congregation gone. The moon crossed the windows, the darkness gave way. The bells never rang, but the silence could stay. And somewhere beyond memory, beyond blame and regret, a man who chose the truth is not forgotten yet. The bells never rang, but neither did they forget. We left St. Jude's before dawn. The rain had stopped. The city streets glistened beneath pale morning light. She carried the photograph. I carried nothing. The case was closed, the mystery solved. Yet as I watched the first hint of sunrise touch the church steeple, I realized some investigations aren't about finding people. They're about finding people. They're about finding peace. But some corners refuse to move forward. I was 63 that summer. Running a small repair shop by the river bend, where old clocks came to die and stubborn watches begged for one more chance. The town had changed its face a dozen times, but Magnolia Bridge still crossed the dark water like a tired promise nobody remembered making. One evening after closing, I walked down the muddy bank with a bottle of bourbon, watching the moon tremble on the river. The air smelled of wet wood, river grass, and distant rain. That's when I saw it. A rusted metal box, half buried beneath the roots of an old cypress tree. The lock was broken, the hinges grown like an old blues record. Inside was a bundle of yellow papers wrapped in faded blue ribbon, and on top a letter addressed to my father. My father had been gone 20 years, a quiet man, a carpenter, the kind who spoke more through his hands than through his mouth. I sat beneath the bridge while freight trains rolled somewhere beyond the trees. The paper cracked when I unfolded it. It was dated 1958. The handwriting belonged to a woman named Evelyn Grace, a name I had never heard before. She wrote about leaving town, about waiting, about standing every Sunday near the river, hoping my father would come. Line after line, the ink carried a sadness that somehow survived 6 decades. came the final sentence. If you never arrive, I'll spend my life wondering whether you love me too. The river kept moving, the moon drifted behind clouds, and suddenly the night felt much older than me. Some secrets sleep beneath the water, some stories hide inside the rain. Years can cover every footprint, but memory finds a way again. The river don't care who leaves or stays, it carries every name downstream. And under Magnolia Bridge that night, I found a ghost inside a dream. The next few weeks became a journey through dusty archives, church records, and forgotten conversations. Old men at the bar remembered pieces, a waitress remembered her grandmother, mentioning a woman who disappeared west. Nobody knew the whole story, but little by little the puzzle gathered itself. My father had planned to leave with Evelyn. He bought train tickets, packed the suitcase, even sold half his tools. Then his own father suffered a stroke. 3 days before departure, he stayed. The train left. The letter never reached him. Someone misplaced it, someone forgot. And 2 lives drifted apart without either knowing why. I sat alone at my wooden kitchen table long after midnight, staring at photographs. One choice, one missed message, a lifetime of silence. By autumn I found her, not alive. Time had taken care of that, but her daughter still lived in a small house near Savannah. I drove through 2 states under silver clouds and highway fog. The road stretched endlessly, the radio whispered old blues songs. Coffee steamed beside me. When I knocked, an elderly woman opened the door. She had my father's eyes, not exactly, but close enough to stop my breath. We spoke until sunset. I showed her the letter. She cried first, then I did. Neither of us knew what to call each other. Family seemed too simple. Strangers felt completely wrong. Outside, rain tapped softly against the porch roof, while daylight faded into amber shadows. Some secrets sleep beneath the water, some stories hide inside the rain. Years can cover every footprint, but memory finds a way again. The river don't care who leaves or stays, it carries every name downstream. And under Magnolia Bridge that night, I found the ghost inside a dream. A month later, I returned to the river. The first cold wind of winter moved across the dark surface. I carried copies of the letter, one for me, one for her, and one more. I folded the last page carefully and placed it back inside the metal. I owned a jazz club for nearly 30 years. Down on Mercer Street, where the city lights fade, a narrow brick building with dark oak walls, and a stage polished smooth by time. Every evening I'd unlock the front door, straighten chairs beneath amber lamps, set old vinyl records beside the counter, and wait for the night to find its rhythm. Most faces came and went like weather, tourists, businessmen, lonely hearts. But some people become part of a room. You stop noticing when they arrive, because they already belong there. And for 12 years, every Thursday at exactly 9, a woman in a blue dress walked through my door, always alone, always smiling, always ordering tea instead of whiskey. No one knew much about her. She never stayed for conversation, never danced, never flirted. She'd sit near the stage beneath a brass lamp, listening to the music with her eyes closed. When the final set ended, she would leave quietly. The musicians called her Lucky Blue. The bartenders invented stories, an actress, a widow, a runaway heiress nobody really knew. Then one autumn evening she didn't come. Thursday passed, then another, then another. The empty chair beside the stage began feeling larger every week, like a missing note in a familiar song. Even the band seemed to notice something small had disappeared, and somehow the whole room felt different. The woman in the blue dress, gone without a sound, leaving only questions floating through the crowd. The woman in the blue dress, like smoke beneath soft light. Some people leave a silence bigger than the night. A month later, while sorting old receipts in my office, I discovered an envelope. No stamp, no address, only my name written neatly across the front. Inside was a letter, short, simple. She thanked me for keeping the club alive, thanked the musicians, the staff, thanked the room itself. Then one sentence stopped me cold. I came every Thursday because my husband played there in 1984. I read it 3 times. The letter explained everything. He'd been a trumpet player, young, talented, in love. One snowy December night, he collapsed after a performance, gone before the ambulance arrived. She was 27. They'd been married less than a year. Every Thursday since his death, she returned to hear live music again. Not because it healed the loss, because it allowed her to sit beside it. At the bottom of the letter, she included an address. So one Sunday afternoon, I drove beyond the city limits. The house sat overlooking a wide valley, surrounded by tall grass moving in the wind. Her son opened the door, a kind man about 40. He invited me inside. Old photographs covered the walls. There she was, the blue dress, the familiar smile. In every picture she looked exactly like herself. Present, gentle, uncomplicated. He told me she had passed away peacefully just a few weeks earlier. Then he handed me something wrapped in cloth. It was his father's trumpet, the brass worn soft from years of use. A note attached read, "Let the music stay where it belongs." When I returned to the club, I placed it beside the stage. It remains there now, catching the light, watching over every song. The woman in the blue dress, gone without a sound, leaving only questions floating through the crowd. The woman in the blue dress, like smoke beneath soft light. Some people leave a silence bigger than the night. Age teaches you strange mathematics, how a life can be measured in ordinary rituals. A favorite table, a familiar doorway, the same walk every Thursday evening. Not grand gestures, not dramatic endings, just quiet devotion repeated until it becomes part of the landscape. Maybe love survives that way, not through memory alone, but through small acts performed faithfully across the years. Like showing up, like listening, like staying. The woman in the blue dress, though the years move on, still lingers in the music long after the song is gone. The woman in... When the bell finally spoke, I was 63 that autumn, caretaker of a church nobody used. White paint peeling from the steeple, pews collecting years of dust and truth. The town had drifted down the highway, following factories that closed and died. Only the wind still knew the address, and the river rolling slow outside. One cold morning before sunrise, I climbed the tower with an oil lamp glow. The bell hadn't rung since Reagan's first term, just a rusted giant hanging low. Then I saw a crack in the timber, something tucked where no eyes could see. A yellow envelope wrapped in twine, waiting half a lifetime for me. I carried it down to the wooden table beside the fireplace burning thin. The handwriting stopped my breathing. It belonged to my older brother Ben. He vanished back in 1980 without a reason, without a trace. Mama died still watching the doorway, hoping she'd see his face. The Paper smelled of dust and seasons, like old photographs left in a drawer. Outside the rain tapped soft on the windows, like it knew what was coming before. My hand shook as I broke the seal. 40 years folded into one page, and every shadow in that empty church stepped quietly onto the stage. The bell never rang for answers. The bell never told me why, but a letter sleeping in its silence fell down from the darkened sky. Some truths don't ride a train home. Some wounds don't fully heal, but the ghosts we carry through the decades are softer once they're real. Ben wrote about fear and failures, about debts and mistakes he couldn't outrun. He said he left to protect the family from the trouble he'd become. He worked the docks in Louisiana, then drifted west through desert towns. 1,000 roads beneath his boots, too ashamed to turn around. There was no grand confession waiting, no treasure buried by the shore. Just a tired man riding to his brother, wishing he'd written years before. The last line stopped me breathing as daylight spilled across the floor. I came back once and hid this letter, but I couldn't walk through the door. The rain was gone by evening. The river carried gold from the sun. I sat alone beneath the steeple, reading every sentence one by one. The church stayed quiet around me. No miracle filled the air, yet somehow all those empty decades felt lighter than despair. I poured a little whiskey from my flask and left it where Ben used to pray. Not for sorrow, not for forgiveness, just for the years that slipped away. The bell never rang for answers. The bell never told me why, but a letter sleeping in its silence fell down from the darkened sky. Some truths don't ride a train home. Some wounds don't fully heal, but the ghosts we carry through the decades are softer once they're real. Night settled over the river, moonlight silver on the stained glass frame. I listened to the silence breathe and whispered my brother's name. The bell above me never moved, still holding secrets of its own. But for the first time in 40 years, I no longer felt alone. The bell never rang for answers. It never changed the past, but a voice lost somewhere in the shadows found its way to me at last. The road behind us keeps on fading, like footprints beneath the rain. Yet love can wait inside the silence and still come home again. Now winter visits that old church, and snow gathers where memories sleep. Sometimes healing isn't the thunderclap, sometimes it's a letter you keep. The photograph hidden inside the wall, behind the cedar boards. I was 66 years old that fall, a furniture maker, nearing retirement, working alone in a workshop at the edge of a fading river town. Most days were simple, wood shavings on the floor, coffee growing cold on a wooden table, the smell of cedar and walnut living permanently in my clothes. One October afternoon, a widow hired me to restore her grandfather's farmhouse. The place sat beyond the river, surrounded by fields that had long ago surrendered to weeds. The house creaked with every gust of wind, its porch leaned toward the earth. Its windows reflected nothing but gray clouds and distance. I spent 3 days repairing walls. On the 4th I discovered something strange, a photograph hidden behind the cedar boards. The picture showed a young woman standing beside a riverbank, dark coat, gentle smile, autumn leaves drifting behind her. There was no name written anywhere, no date, no explanation, just a face tucked away inside a wall for reasons nobody could explain. That evening, rain began tapping against the roof. I sat beside the old stone fireplace, studying the photograph. Something about her expression felt unfinished, like she had intended to say something before the shutter clicked. The widow didn't recognize her, neither did the neighbors, yet everyone agreed on one thing: the photograph had been hidden deliberately. Someone wanted it found, or someone wanted it forgotten behind the cedar boards. Beneath the years and dust, some stories keep breathing long after silence covers us. Time can hide a memory, but it cannot erase its call. And sometimes the smallest picture holds the biggest truth of all. The next morning, I searched the attic, boxes, ledgers, broken lamps, stacks of old newspapers. Near sunset, I uncovered a journal. The handwriting belonged to the farmhouse owner from nearly 70 years earlier. Page after page described ordinary life, harvests, floods, family dinners. Then one entry stopped me cold. The river took Clara today, nothing more. No details, no explanation, only those 5 words. Days later, I found another entry. Her photograph remains hidden. Some grief is too heavy for display. Suddenly everything made sense. Clara had been his sister. She disappeared during the flood when both were young. Her body was never recovered. The river kept it secret. The family spoke of her less each year, until eventually they stopped speaking of her entirely. But the brother never forgot. He hid her photograph inside the wall he built himself, close enough to remember, hidden enough to survive. The realization sat quietly inside me. I thought about everyone who slowly vanishes from conversation, not because they mattered less, because life keeps moving. Children grow older, homes change hands, memories fade around the edges. Behind the cedar board, beneath the years and dust, some stories keep breathing long after silence covers us. Time can hide a memory, but it cannot erase its call. And sometimes the smallest picture holds the biggest truth of all. That night, fog rolled across the river. I stood on the porch holding Clara's photograph. The water moved slowly beneath moonlight, endless, patient, unchanged by decades. For the first time, I understood why her brother had hidden the picture. He wasn't trying to forget, he was protecting a memory from the wear and tear of time, giving it a place to wait. Behind the cedar boards, where old sorrows gently sleep, love leaves quiet footprints that the years can never sweep. The river keeps its secrets, the seasons rise and fall, but every life leaves traces inside the hearts it touches at all. The house creaked with every gust of wind. Its porch leaned toward the earth. Its windows reflected nothing but gray clouds and distance. I spent 3 days repairing walls. On the 4th I discovered something strange, a photograph hidden behind the cedar boards. The picture showed a young woman standing beside a riverbank, dark coat, gentle smile, autumn leaves drifting behind her. There was no name written anywhere, no date, no explanation. I was 70 years old that winter. Living 2 blocks from the county line. A former boxer with crooked fingers, and a face weathered hard by time. Most mornings started before daylight, at a diner near the Greyhound stop. The kind of place with cracked red boots, where conversations never really stop. The waitress knew me by first name, poured coffee before I'd sit down. Outside, the neon sign kept flickering, casting red reflections on the ground. I spend my days mostly remembering the rounds I lost, the ones I won, watching buses come and leave beneath a sky untouched by sun. One freezing morning before sunrise, a coach rolled in through drifting fog. Passengers stepped into the station, wrapped in coats against the cold. Then I saw a man near the entrance, standing still beneath the light, wearing an old army jacket and gloves the color of midnight. For a second I thought I knew him, though 40 years had come and gone. The way he tilted back his shoulders, the way he paused before moving on. Then he smiled across the platform, and every year fell away. It was Danny Ross, my corner man, who vanished after our final day. Coffee at the Greyhound station, steam rising through the dome. Some people leave without a warning, then somehow carry on. The roads divide like rivers through cities we outgrow, but friendship has a strange way of finding where to go. We sat together by the window, watching headlights fade from view. Neither one of us spoke quickly, like old men rarely do. He told me about Montana winters, driving freight through mountain snow, about a wife he loved completely, and the years that came and went below. I told him how the boxing ended, how my knees finally gave in, how life gets quieter with age, yet somehow deeper underneath the skin. The diner filled with morning workers, their laughter drifting through the room, while outside the fog kept rolling across the sleeping avenue. Danny reached into his duffel and placed something by my cup, a photograph from 1970, back when we were coming up. There we stood outside an arena, young enough to trust our plans, certain life would last forever, certain we would understand. We studied that old picture quietly, neither trying to explain how dreams become memories without ever asking permission. Then the loudspeaker called his departure, another route, another town. And just like that, the moment shifted as the morning gathered round. Coffee at the Greyhound station, steam rising through the dawn. Some people leave without a warning, then somehow carry on. The roads divide like rivers through cities we outgrow, but friendship has a strange way of finding where to go. The eastern sky turned pale and golden. Traffic slowly filled the street. The world resumed its daily motion beneath the rhythm of our feet. Danny shook my hand and smiled. No promises, no grand goodbye. Some bonds survive without speaking beneath the years. I was 58 that summer, driving county roads no map could name. A furniture maker with aching knuckles and more memories than I could explain. The sun was falling behind the pines when I saw a faded neon glow. An old motel leaning toward the highway, like it had nowhere else to go. Half the letters on the signs were missing. The office smelled of time and smoke. A tired woman handed me a key. Without a single word she spoke. Room 7 waited at the far end, paint peeling from the weathered walls. The kind of place where silence lingers long after darkness falls. The ceiling fan turned slow above me, pushing warm shadows through the room. Moonlight spilled across the carpet and settled in the dusty gloom. Near the bed stood an old suitcase, brown leather cracked by years alone. No tag, no name, no explanation. Like a ghost nobody claimed or owned. I should have left it where I found it, but curiosity has its ways. So I brushed away the dust and opened up forgotten days. Inside were black and white photographs, a train platform, a smiling bride, a man in a dark wool overcoat, standing proudly by her side. Dust on the motel register, dust on the years gone by. Some people leave without a goodbye. Some stories never die. The highway keeps on moving, while old rooms hold the pain. And somewhere beneath the silence, love keeps whispering a name. I asked the woman in the office about the suitcase late that night. She lit a cigarette in silence while moths danced around the light. She said the man checked in one winter back in 1983, waiting for a wife he'd lost to a train bound for Tennessee. Every evening he sat outside, watching headlights cut the dark, certain she would find a way back, following some forgotten mark. But seasons changed around the building, and one day he was simply gone, leaving all he couldn't carry, and all he carried on. Near dawn I studied every photograph at a wooden desk beneath the lamp. The faces felt strangely familiar, like footprints beside an old camp. One picture held a message written in handwriting, faded and thin. If she ever comes looking for me, tell her I never stop believing. Outside the fog swallowed the highway, soft and silver in the morning light. And I wondered how many people spend forever waiting through the night. I closed the case and left it standing exactly where it used to be. Some things belong to unfinished stories, not to strangers like me. Dust on the motel register, dust on the years gone by. Some people leave without a goodbye. Some stories never die. The highway keeps on moving, while old rooms hold the pain. And somewhere beneath the silence, love keeps whispering a name. The neon buzzed like distant thunder. The fog rolled slow across the lane. And for a moment that forgotten motel felt alive again. I never learned what happened after, whether she returned or stayed away. But some questions earn their beauty by refusing to explain. Dust on the motel register, dust on the passing years. 1,000 roads and broken promises still echo in our ears. The world keeps turning forward like wheels upon a train. Yes. I was 62 that spring. private detective with more memories than clans. The city had changed around me. New glass towers, new money, new faces. But some corners refused to move forward. St. Jude's Church stood among them, abandoned, boarded windows, cracked stone walls, a place forgotten by nearly everyone. One rainy evening, a woman walked into my office. Elegant coat, leather gloves, silver hair pinned neatly beneath a dark hat. She placed an old photograph on my desk, a wedding picture, faded around the edges. Then she asked a strange question. Can you tell me why the bells never rang? At first I thought she meant symbolism, regret, heartbreak, something poetic, but she didn't. 43 years earlier, she was supposed to be married in St. Jude's. Guests arrived, flowers filled the church. The organist waited, the groom never appeared. No note, no explanation, nobody, no scandal, nothing. The wedding simply dissolved into silence. A week later, the church closed after a fire-damaged part of the sanctuary. Years passed, lives moved on, yet one question remained: why didn't he come? The photograph sat between us, a frozen moment waiting for an answer. The bells never rang, the choir never sang, candles burned low while the shadows grew long. Some stories end loudly, some quietly fade. The bells never rang, and the mystery stayed. The trail was old, cold enough to discourage most men. But I had spent my career listening to things that refused to disappear. City archives, newspaper clippings, court records, dusty boxes in forgotten basements. Eventually, I found a report, one that had never made the papers. The groom had been seen the morning of the wedding at the train station, carrying a small briefcase. Witnesses remembered him arguing with two men in expensive suits. After that, nothing, no departure record, no arrival record, no trace. The deeper I dug, the stranger it became. Every path led toward a real estate deal that collapsed the same year. Millions vanished. Powerful people suddenly became nervous. The final piece came from an old bartender who remembered more than he should. The groom wasn't running away, he was preparing to testify. Expose fraud, expose names, expose everything. The briefcase held documents, evidence, truth. The bartender leaned closer, lowered his voice. He didn't disappear because of the wedding. Rain struck the windows outside. Ice rattled in forgotten glasses. He disappeared because he was honest. The room went silent when I met the woman again. We sat inside the empty church itself. Moonlight slipped through broken stained glass. Dust drifted through silver beams. I told her everything. She listened quietly. No tears, no anger, just understanding. The kind earned over decades. The bells never rang, the choir never sang, the candles burned low while the shadows grew long. Some stories end loudly, some quietly fade. The bells never rang, and the mystery stayed. Before leaving, she walked slowly toward the altar. The church smelled of old wood, rainwater, and time. She stood where she once waited as a bride. Then she smiled, a small smile. Not for what happened, not for what was lost, for finally knowing the truth couldn't return. 40 years couldn't heal every wound, but uncertainty had weighed more than grief. Now that burden was gone. The bells never rang, yet the years carried on. The choir grew older, the congregation gone. The moon crossed the windows, the darkness gave way. The bells never rang, but the silence could stay. And somewhere beyond memory, beyond blame and regret, a man who chose the truth is not forgotten yet. The bells never rang, but neither did they forget. We left St. Jude's before dawn. The rain had stopped. The city streets glistened beneath pale morning light. She carried the photograph. I carried nothing. The case was closed, the mystery solved. Yet as I watched the first hint of sunrise touch the church steeple, I realized some investigations aren't about finding people. They're about finding people. They're about finding peace. But some corners refuse to move forward. I was 63 that summer, running a small repair shop by the river bend, where old clocks came to die and stubborn watches begged for one more chance. The town had changed its face a dozen times, but Magnolia Bridge still crossed the dark water like a tired promise nobody remembered making. One evening after closing, I walked down the muddy bank with a bottle of bourbon, watching the moon tremble on the river. The air smelled of wet wood, river grass, and distant rain. That's when I saw it. A rusted metal box, half buried beneath the roots of an old cypress tree. The lock was broken, the hinges grown like an old blues record. Inside was a bundle of yellow papers wrapped in faded blue ribbon, and on top a letter addressed to my father. My father had been gone 20 years, a quiet man, a carpenter. The kinda spoke more through his hands than through his mouth. I sat beneath the bridge while freight trains rolled somewhere beyond the trees. The paper cracked when I unfolded it. It was dated 1958. The handwriting belonged to a woman named Evelyn Grace, a name I had never heard before. She wrote about leaving town, about waiting, about standing every Sunday near the river, hoping my father would come. Line after line, the ink carried a sadness that somehow survived 6 decades. Then came the final sentence: if you never arrive, I'll spend my life wondering whether you loved me too. The river kept moving, the moon drifted behind clouds, and suddenly the night felt much older than me. Some secrets sleep beneath the water, some stories hide inside the rain. Years can cover every footprint, but memory finds a way again. The river don't care who leaves or stays, it carries every name downstream. And under Magnolia Bridge that night, I found a ghost inside a dream. The next few weeks became a journey through dusty archives, church records, and forgotten conversations. Old men at the bar remembered pieces. A waitress remembered her grandmother, mentioning a woman who disappeared west. Nobody knew the whole story, but little by little the puzzle gathered itself. My father had planned to leave with Evelyn. He bought train tickets, packed a suitcase, even sold half his tools. Then his own father suffered a stroke. 3 days before departure, he stayed. The train left. The letter never reached him. Someone misplaced it, someone forgot. And 2 lives drifted apart without either knowing why. I sat alone at my wooden kitchen table long after midnight, staring at photographs. One choice, one missed message, a lifetime of silence. By autumn I found her, not alive. Time had taken care of that, but her daughter still lived in a small house near Savannah. I drove through 2 states under silver clouds and highway fog. The road stretched endlessly. The radio whispered old blues songs. Coffee steamed beside me. When I knocked, an elderly woman opened the door. She had my father's eyes, not exactly, but close enough to stop my breath. We spoke until sunset. I showed her the letter. She cried first, then I did. Neither of us knew what to call each other. Family seemed too simple. Strangers felt completely wrong. Outside, rain tapped softly against the porch roof, while daylight faded into amber shadows. Some secrets sleep beneath the water, some stories hide inside the rain. Years can cover every footprint, but memory finds a way again. The river don't care who leaves or stays, it carries every name downstream. And under night I found